Now I will request our chairperson, Dr. Vikram Lotwala, to felicitate Mr. Suresh Rawal or Dhawal. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chairperson Dr. Vikram Lotwala. Now we'll move towards our third topic for the discussion. Over the years, India has emerged as one of the fastest growing economies in the world. Not only equity, but real estate is also a great investment and tool for passive income. Few advantages of real estate investment is consistent income flow, strong yields, tax benefits, diversification with well-chosen assets, and ability to leverage wealth. So our next speaker, Dr. Amish Vohra, pediatrician from Mumbai, will give knowledge on real estate investment. Chairperson for this talk are Dr. Arvind Malavia, Dr. Praful Chasatia, and Dr. Ketan Bharadwaj. I request Chairperson to take a seat. Dr. Arvind Malavia, Dr. Praful Chasatia, and Dr. Ketan Bharadwaj. Please, sir. A brief introduction about our speaker, Dr. Amish Vohra. He is ex-consultant in pediatric intensive care and ECMO in UK. He has done his fellowship from UK and Australia in NICU and in PICU on cardiac and ECMO. Currently, he is working as a pediatric and neonatal intensivist at Safi and Bhatia Hospital, Mumbai, and he is ECMO specialist at Masina and Safi Hospital. Sir has done a lot of research as a principal investigator in phase 1 and phase 2 and phase 3 trials, and he is examiner for MBBS at University of Leicester, UK, educational and clinical supervisor for MRCP CH at University of Leicester. He is a teacher and examiner for IAP PICU training. He has many publications and chapters in books and review in national and international journal. I request our chairperson to felicitate Dr. Amish Vohra, our chairperson, sir.
Trying to make sure I'm here.
Sir, on stage.
Okay, bye, see you all, thank you. Hope you like the talk. So, thank you for having me over here. I'm going to speak about the real estate. Okay? Everybody here loves real estate. So, that's what I'm going to speak about. Before I start, let me thank Vikram, the heart and soul of this talk organization, and pursuing me to come. I was a little bit tentative coming all the way from Bombay for a day. But Vikram and Naresh Bhai said, Amish, it will be good things, please go. So I'm here, and thank you for organizing it. Real estate, okay? So real estate is something which I fallen in love because out of necessity. I started investing in 1989, Ashram Mehta, tips trading. Okay, 12th में साइंस कर रहा है, MBBS कर रहा है, और फ्रेंड्स कॉमर्स वाले पैसा कमा रहा है, रोज शेयर बाजार में डालते हैं और पैसा बनाते हैं, उनके साथ बैठ के उनके पैसे से दारू पी रहा हूँ, तो उसमें कुछ न कुछ टिप मिलती जाती है, तो वी स्टार्ट डूइंग टिप ट्रेडिंग, जो भी है डाल दो, अच्छा लगता है. Okay, 89 you do, 91 you are booming, Ashram Mehta is booming, you are booming, पैसा निकालो, बहन की शादी है, लोग बोलते ज्वेलरी मत दे, गोल्ड का बिस्किट दो. I got exposed to gold. Bought a biscuit to give it to my sister during her wedding. So I started my diversification without knowing also. And then comes the big bus, 92. वो गया, मैं गया. आपके पास क्या बाप बॉस बचाओ. So what he does, he penalizes me. He saves me, pays my debt, and डॉक्टर बनना है बन 4 से 8 कॉलेज खत्म के नौकरी करो 4 to 8 I go to my office where I used to be boss's son. I was working as a ward boy for a year as a office boy. Okay, so that's how you start. Then you realize you should have a broker and investor. So for next 10 years I was going through all the expert advice until 2000 .com boom comes. Again I lose. Like a boss, अपना पैसा है, अपने आप सीखो. Started such studies और गुजराती from my grandfather days. पैसा जमीन पे डालो. So I started and bought my first property in Mumbai. Though I was in Australia, मेरा एक घर होना चाहिए बॉम्बे में. 2001 I bought a small flat in Bombay. I still have it. So that's how I started. Then I invested in Australia also. I bought real estate. And any place where I moved for my fellowship, I bought properties. Australia, UK, Dubai, America. So they got lay. And that's how your experience starts. Okay? So that's in brief how I got exposed to real estate. Mark Twain has said famously, buy property, buy land, they are not making it more. He simply put into words what we all think. We all know the stories. 1950s. Grandfather, father ने प्रॉपर्टी हजारों में खरीदा, आज करोड़ों रुपया हो गया. Especially in all town A, town B cities. Okay? And that's how the real estate legends come from. Then comes my 2 seniors. My first senior was my GP. He saw me when I was 5-6 years old. My father's very good friend. Okay? When I see him, he kept on buying, bought cash, GP. So he used to buy a lot of real estate in 40s, 50s, 60s. He had 4-5 floors. When my father retired in 65, he retired in 70, bought a big penthouse. 4,000 square feet, penthouse on top, overlooking the ceiling. Okay? You feel, wow, this is something you want to achieve. My senior from JJ, 5 years seniors, he also became a family physician. He also invested in real estate. He has about 5 flats, 120 for himself, 120 for his son, and now he's building an eye hospital for his second son. So you get inspired by all those people when you are out there. Just 2 stories, anecdotal studies. So what is the idea of real estate? Everybody knows 2, active investment, you are काम कर रहे हैं. You want passive investment. Passive investment is that something will start making money for you. The idea of passive investment is beat inflation by 3 to 4%. Don't be greedy. Okay? उसके ऊपर जो भी आया, that's good. One sec. Sorry, I forgot to put the timer. You will tell me the timer? Okay, I started. 45 minutes from now. So, passive income. How do you make passive income? Greed is good. Greed is good was a famous dialogue by Gordon Gekko. 1987 movie. Okay, in India it used to come in those days, 1-2 years later. We all watched it end of 98. 99 you realize what is greed. That time we were MBBS people, so सबका full form. G for gold, R for real estate, E for equity. उसके आगे नहीं मालूम था, तो सोचा ये सब करना चाहिए, and that's how greed started, and that's how people following this. If nobody's seen a movie, classic movie, please see that Wall Street. Okay, Michael Douglas is the guy who married Catherine Zeta-Jones, sexy lady. So, what are the percentage? Aim of your percentage. Okay, if you see the full greed is now greed is gold, real estate, equity. E for mutual funds. That's my thing. Always equity and mutual funds should have equal bearing and should have both. And D is your debt. Roughly speaking, keep it at aim for 20%. When you are 25-30, you aim for this. Whatever you are good at, I'm good at real estate is 30-35%. You are good at equity, increase equity. 20% gold is high, I'd say 10% is fine. Okay, but the debt should be coming towards 20% by your 60, 65, you should aim for that. So just a rough example, but change it as you feel. Okay, so you have to balance your investment. Basic idea, real equity goes down, real estate goes down, gold comes up, debt funds comes up. चार में इन्वेस्ट है, दो नीचे जाएगा, दो ऊपर आएगा, दो ऊपर वाला नीचे जाएगा तो दूसरा दो ऊपर जाएगा. So whenever you want to sell, in emergency you have something to sell which is at its peak, not when it is at your bottom. Earlier you start, the better. I see a lot of youngsters. Doctors can't start earning before 24, 25. Unlike commerce people. 24, 25, you start, 50% income goes in your investment. Straight away. Everybody makes about 1 lakh now, MBBS interns, 50,000 should go in your SIP. So this is how I say that you should be having your property, equity bond and less of cash and gold. It's a wheel of investment. If you want good investment, it should be proper wheel. I don't believe that you should be 80% equity unless you are a champion equity player by some experts. I was not. Early in my career, I've experienced that. So I have not done so much in equity. You find out what suits you. Real estate suits me. I was high on real estate. Now I'm balancing because I'm coming towards 60. I look young, but I'm really there. So what should I invest in? Why should I invest in? 4 major factors: return, safety, volatility, liquidity. Don't look at everything, you get confused. Okay? Just think about equity and real estate. That's the 2 important terms. If you look at returns, equity can also be low to high. All of us, Reliance Power, Reliance Air, Birla Tire, सब अभी tissue paper, toilet paper है. Okay, so there are equities also which can make you lose money. At the same time, you can have high. Real estate is moderate to high. You cannot become zero in real estate. So the safety-wise, real estate is slightly better than equity. Okay, so returns are nearly same. Safety is better. Liquidity is easier with equity. Liquidity is little bit difficult with real estate. But how to overcome it? I'll tell you how liquidity you can make it in real estate as well. So why real estate? Real estate for your passive income. Okay, real estate to make sure you have moderate risk. अपने को hard earned money, no big risk factors. You get your inflation plus 2 to 5% minimum CAGR. Lifelong passive income. After 5 to 7 years, you realize that पैसा आ रहा है. Okay. Return of the original also, you can remove your return of the original within 5 to 7 years. I'll show you how you can do it and how to make your real estate as zero maintenance. Way and the process to make it zero maintenance. So why real estate? Fast population base. India, one thing good for us is population keeps on growing. So real estate is really safe. Real estate will always be in demand. Biggest factor, a lot of lower economic class will become middle economic class. Lots of lower middle economic has become higher middle economic. A lot of you Surtis have become high net worth individuals. So it's good. A lot of urbanization. A lot of people are moving from small villages to town. A lot of people are from the town are moving to cities. And a lot of us went from cities to overseas. So a lot of migration population. Migration was 17% in 1970. Migration population is 33% just now. By 2050, 2030, migration population will be 50% in all cities. So you know in cities a lot of migration is coming. Okay, there are 4 sectors for real estate: housing, commercial. Those are the 2 sectors we discussed. I think it's beyond the scope to speak about retail and hospitality. That's why something is for professionals. For us, housing and commercial. So let's stick to the facts which we can do easily. Driver for real estate, as we said, good economic performance of the country. Country is rising, income is rising, migration is happening. This is what I was talking about, 50%. Also, we have to read. Read about your city. Read the things, what it says, what is the prediction, what was the past performance, what was the past thing. Night Rank 2020 gave good analysis for Mumbai city, where I am impressed. Okay, there were other analysis from Madras, Bangalore and Delhi NCR. So you should read about that and see which areas are good, which has the future. You heard some tips today. Have a look, but confirm that what the professionals are saying about it. Okay? Government initiative. Government is making sure your property when you rent comes back to you. Okay, first 50% of the time we were not renting out property because we were scared that we lose our property. They are not fully there. 50 to 80% your risk is now eliminated. Another 3 or 5 years, hopefully the next government is the same government, then we should be able to move further. Okay? Like everything, there are cycles. Whether it's equity, whether it's gold, or whether it's real estate. So you have to see where in the cycle you are investing. There are 2 major cycles. Top half where you're making money, bottom half where you lose money or you are maintenance phase. So these are the cycles which are called as expansion and contraction, which is the top half. The bottom half is your recovery, recession and recovery. So this is a cycle which became very famous after 2008. 2008 in US, the banking subprime mortgage debt funds collapsed, everything went crash. What did you do? 2009, I went there, bought a property in San Diego. Marcy, how are you? Where are you? I have not seen you for 10 years. No, I want to buy a property, I came to meet you. Pound versus dollar derivatives, use that, change it, let's buy something. So there was a recession phase. 2010-11, same thing happened in India. 10-11, Bombay and everything started improving. Same thing happened in USA. It boomed after that in expansion phase. Same thing happened in a shorter version after COVID. Real estate collapsed, like share market. 220 collapsed, 21 in recovery, 22 boom phase. Okay, one of my friend bought a huge property, 80,000 per square feet, 2021. This year, sold it off at 140,000 per square feet. Okay, so that's a multi-bagger. It can happen when you go in fast, come out fast. That's not our job. That's for the professionals who are working on it. But that's your expansion. After every expansion, there will be contraction. So your idea is to see that you can get in recovery phase some player in the property. Make sure you get a recovery phase. You get capital appreciation in your expansion. Then you have enough time to go through your contraction and recession phase. This cycle, 5 to 7 years in equity, 7 to 10 years, preferably more than 10 years in real estate. So when you invest in real estate, be there for a long time. Okay? Why are the cycle? The cycle depends on a lot of mass phenomena. Increasing in the GDP, increasing in the population growth, increasing in household disposable income, net income ratio, net rental yield, how much rent you will get, what happens to the interest. Okay, whenever there is a recession, interest will come down. Okay, whenever the boom comes, interest will start going up. Or vice versa can also happen. At present, there is a recession in the European countries, the interest rates are going up. Okay? Demand supply, most important. You want to know what's the demand of the property you are going to buy because you are going to rent it out. Okay, so you need to do demand supply. I'll show you how to look into demand supply. Okay? So this is what we were trying to say. There's a huge demand of real estate. As per the returns or expansion we are talking about, the real estate in India is expanding at 20-24% per annum. So So this is what we were talking about, the experience of 2008, how the market went down and how the market recovered. Same experience we had in 2020 and how it picked up. Okay? The organization of real estate has become really good. Real estate has organized itself in the last 5 years. You can see the real estate return coming in. Let it prove itself for 5 years, then we can look into it. But at present, as we were talking about, the CAGR for next 5 years in real estate is predicted about 20%. Let's not go for it, but this is what they are predicting it will happen. Because of increased lifestyle, increasing bigger property. Before, 50 people lived in a joint family in Bombay in 1 or 2 rooms. Okay? Or in Surat, you have a big bungalow with the whole family and a joint family. Now, everybody wants separate family. Everybody wants to have relationship, but want to live separately. So, you have single unit family. And they used to buy 1 or 2 bedroom. After COVID, everybody wants even more. 3 family, 3 room चाहिए. 3 members, 3 room. High net worth individuals from NRIs are invested. In Bombay, anything more than 4 to 5 bedrooms, 2,000, 2,500 square feet, all are being taken up by the high net worth individual NRIs. Their property is crushing over there, their finance industry is crushing. They have come out, they are investing in Bombay. Bombay prices in the last 2 years, it's a peak at about 140,000 per square feet. Don't go by Bombay, I'm saying that's what I've understood. You need to know similarly for whichever place you are going to buy. So just change the place but know your knowledge for the same place. Another biggest example of real estate is Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. Started in 2004, 110 floors of rental value. They were not going to sell this to anyone. Okay? 2008, 2009, everybody said, Gaya. Big failure. Nothing is going to fail. It's not going to work. Okay? 2014 started selling. 2023, 22. Can you guess what was the CAGR for Burj Khalifa last year? Record 149%. Last year's CAGR for Burj Dubai was 149. My bad luck. I left Dubai in 2015. Okay, I moved back to India. I needed to buy my property. That's what I bought. I bought Dubai because I was scared about losing more property of rental income. Invested in Dubai. I came back to India. I sold my Dubai property to buy myself. But I made lot. I'm happy I made my money. You can't try more the spirit maker. If I waited to 22, then I might have had a 149%. But that happens. So the cycle will happen. Real estate usually comes up. So as we were hearing about multi-bagger, people think of multi-bagger and think of equity. As I said, Burj Khalifa is the biggest example of multi-bagger in real estate. Mumbai, okay, average price increase last year was 48% in Dubai. 148 for Burj Khalifa, 48 for everybody in Dubai. Look at Delhi. Delhi NCR, 22 to 23, 205. NCR. You all must have seen in the news, Gurgaon, the new property by DFL. 3 towers. Smallest tower was 3 bedroom, 3 CR. Biggest flat was 4 to 5 for 9 CR. How many days to sell off 350 flats? Can you guess? 3 days. 3 days, 350 flats sold off between 3 to 9 CR. Because of the real estate boom of 200%. Mumbai, we are happy, 18-19%, but each area will depend. Hyderabad, even the bigger boss. Anybody from there? The last talk I gave, there were 2-3 good Hyderabadis who were jumping when I mentioned it. 1000%. 1000% increment in Hyderabad. My Masi, she is in America, as I said. So she was married to a Muslim. And they had for his family, they got a bungalow over there. And after COVID, they were saying, now who's going to use? They don't have any kids. They are in America, they don't plan to come back. So they said, let's sell it off. I said, that's not the wrong time, don't sell it off. તમને શું ખબર પડે તું તો છોકરો છે ઠીક છે કરો. I said, you're selling us, buy something in case you have to come. So they sold off that beautiful 1.5 acre bungalow plot with 2-3 stories old traditional bungalow with a courtyard and everything. And because of me, they bought a flat. Now, what they sold the place, the whole courtyard and the bungalow, they get the same money for that flat. So imagine if they had holden. So only sell if you have to. Okay? That's what the thing comes. These are tier A cities. You go to tier B. Okay? Tier B like Pune, 500%. Kolkata, mind का भी पानी छोड़ेगा. So now, but at the same time, you have to be careful. Bangalore, Chennai, and a lot of IT industries. Last 2 years, IT industries have not done well. It reflects real estate is not appreciated in Bangalore and Chennai. Lot of home people, IT people are working from their villages, so they've gone back. Not everybody's come back, but now they are asking them to come back. So we'll expect Bangalore, Chennai to catch up on it. Chennai, South Indians have not yet appreciated the idea of having more space. Okay, they are still living in their 1-bedroom hall kitchen, and unlike the rest of the world, they actually move to 2 and 3. So you be careful. Now, often I've been asked, and in India, this is something which I've realized in the last 5 years, that it's all about equity. And they said no more real estate. And okay, and it's always comparison between equity versus real estate. And I say don't compare. It's like comparing the 2 kids. You can compare yourself with your brother, sister, you can hate each other. But as a parent, you should not compare your 2 kids. So it's equity and real estate. Okay, so remember that. Real estate has your rental yield, equity gives your dividend. Real estate has a capital appreciation, equity has your price increase. So both are similar. If you look at the 10-year data, red is the equity and yellow is real estate. They go hand in hand. Okay? They go hand in hand, give 10 to 15% CAGR easily. And if somebody for 20 years, in 1980 had put 6 lakhs in equity and 6 lakhs in real estate, both would have got nearly similar. Obviously, equity slightly more. Okay, no doubt about it. But these are the facts. What are the average return? We are interested in average return. So last 20 years average return, last 8.5 years average return. If you look at most of the cities except Bangalore is about 15%. Okay? So most of the cities are about 15%, so I'm going to expect that. My expectation is about 10%. 7-8% है, 2-3% सही है, 10% के ऊपर जाना चाहिए, रिस्क नहीं लेना है. उसके ऊपर गया बोनस. Okay, this is what we discussed in detail, so I'm not going to go further with this slide. Now, enough of theory. We have went through all the theories. Okay, so I don't want to bore you further, so I'll give you examples. Now, what happens with an example? So, we want to buy our first property. Anybody wanting to buy a first property, unlike most of you will have income, but if you don't have income, start investing in SIP, in mutual funds for 5 years. Earmark that SIP for your real estate buying in 5 years. So, you decide to put SIP of 50,000. Every month you put 50,000. First year in turn, 50,000, 25 years old, putting 50,000 for next 5 years. By 30 years, you'll have 40 lakhs. So this SIP of 50,000 is for 40 lakhs is for my first property. Okay? Why property? Get onto the real estate ladder first. How you get onto buying equity of mutual funds? Same way get into real estate property first. So now I want to buy property in Bombay. Okay, that's what I am aware of. So I will talk about Bombay. You can buy from Surat or Ahmedabad or Baroda or Rajkot. Rajkot is more expensive, so I don't know how they afford it. But if you look at the data, 20 years data shows me 10% CAGR. So you want to be sure that the past is also safe. I'm going to invest in Bombay. So this is a retrospective analysis. Then I look at the price equity. Yeah, over here. So you look at what I'm looking at. 40 lakhs, good demand, less supply. So my retail will be good. 40 to 1 crore, also good. If I go to above 1 crore, then the demand is less, supply is more. Okay? So that way you need to look for all the cities wherever you're coming from. So if you are from Ahmedabad, same thing. Lot of demand for less than 40 lakhs, lot of demand for between 40 to 1 CR, very less demand for more than 1 CR. So if you look at the data, it tells you where you should be investing in your first real estate. Okay, now what is the advantage of real estate? The advantage of real estate is, first of all, doctors, especially Surat. I guess Surat has a lot of cash. You know, Surat has twice the real cash GDP than white income. So, you know, you can invest your cash. A lot of people say cash, 30% give, convert into white and invest in mutual funds and equity. Boss, Vanya Buddhi, 30%, 3 साल का मेरा CAGR गया. So I'm already setting back by 3 years. I would prefer either you invest in real estate or buy gold. But you can only buy so much. So I would say real estate is a good one. It helps you to diversify. It gives you your income, steady rate, inflation hedge. Okay? Inflation hedge means whenever the inflation comes, your real estate will also increase with it. Most important, leverage. Leverage means leverage your real estate, or you can take a loan against your real estate. Only point of your investment where you are allowed to leverage. Never leverage your equity or mutual funds. But real estate, always leverage. Never buy full real estate in the full amount. It will appreciate, and finally it's your real estate. You have done your own homework. You know what area you're buying, what you're buying, and you know how it's going to appreciate. You are the boss. You're not waiting for some CEO. Once CEO of a company resigns, 20% share market is down. So you don't have to go in that way. Disadvantage, high initial investment, long term, 10 years plus, moderate risk, liquidity can be an issue. I'll show you how it cannot be, and maintenance. But I will show you how it can be maintenance free. So get on the real estate ladder. Always buy your first property to rent. Okay, don't have the Indian mentality. Pehla property खुद का घर लो. First property पहला पैसा बनाओ. Always buy your first property to rent, so you can get better. Now we have seen that in 5 years we have about 40 lakhs to invest. We keep a down payment of 20 to 30%. Okay, so we'll take a loan of 1 CR, 40%, 1.2 CR. EMI should be 30%. Don't take big risks. 30% EMI I should be able to afford. So now let's go to SBI website. Okay, so go to the website, go to the loan page. If I take 80 to 90 lakhs ka investment, a loan, my EMI at 7.5% comes to 60,000. If I take a loan of I have to pay EMI of 60,000, that does not follow my principle. Okay, my EMI should be not more than 30%. So I'm not going to take such a big loan. Okay, first safety. So I'm going to reduce my loan to 50 lakhs. My EMI comes to 34,000. Okay, 30,000, 34,000 I can afford. I'm going to take a loan of 50 lakhs. I have 40 lakhs, I'm taking a loan of 50 lakhs. I have 90 lakhs with me. Okay, now I look for location. Knight Franklin, Central Bombay, good location. Central Bombay, Lower Parel, Prabhadevi can't afford. Okay, 50 to 80,000 per square feet. उसके बाजू में लाल बाग with next to a good BB, Lal Bagh with a Sokali BB. Lal Bagh ka Sokali BB, little bit far, but I can afford 20,000 per square feet. Okay, so I can afford it, it fits my budget at 85 lakhs million. Always get your loan approved before. As soon as you have your loan, you are cash rich. जिसके पास पैसा है, real estate वाला उससे धंधा करेगा, discount देगा. Don't leave. He does not want to leave. You don't want to leave. You have seen a property, you want to buy. Then only sit and discuss. Sit and discuss 1 to 4, 15-20% वो तोड़ेगा. Fact of life. When you have money, real estate will treat you like a boss. Always look for extras. In Bombay, in most of the cities, car park. Car park is there. When you are buying, talk in carpet area. When you are renting, talk about super better. Okay? So you talk like that. So you are buying in carpet area. You bought this. अपना Jain Derasar. Jain Derasar will rent easily. Next to station, easily rented. So अपना rental fix हो गया. Okay? How much rent I will get? You have to see. I am buying a flat about 2 BHK at 422 square feet. Now if I talk to people of Surat or this, 500 square feet, my dog house is bigger than this. And this is Bombay, boss. Okay, so how does it come? Don't look at the chart, but this is a fact. Look at the small life problem. 1 BHK is 300 in Bombay, is 600 in Delhi, is 900 in Surat and Tier B city. So that's how the comparison goes, 369. If you look for 2 BHK, 600, 900 and 1500. And 600, 1200 and 1800. So it goes like that in multiples of 3. So that's why don't look at the figures but see the principle behind it. So now I have bought a flat, okay, and I'm going to rent it. Before buying, you've seen this, the rent is 32,000. I'm aiming for a built-up of 570. So my built-up is more than that, so I should get at least 32,000. Okay, my EMI was 35,000. So calculation, EMI is 35, rent is 32. My plan was that you should have at least 40k, of which 10k is for the maintenance. Okay, so I'm investing 50,000 every year. Okay, of which now my SIP I'll reduce it to continue your SIP. Put 30,000 in your SIP for your real estate for your next project, 20,000 for your long term, whatever you want. But over here, I'm paying for 40,000, I'm just paying 10k. As SIP is being paid by the rent. So do your calculation. Second thing, what will happen in 3 years? Every year the rent increases 10%. Okay, irrespective of inflation, Bombay rent will increase 10%. Simple interest liya, so 3,000 to 3 lakhs 2,000. In 3 years, from 10k and 32k, 10k plus 32k will become 42k. So 3 साल में my rent has increased by 10,000 per month. So my initial rent was 32,000, and now I'm going to get 42,000. 42,000 you get after 10 years. Your EMI is rent free now. You don't have to invest anything to pay back your EMI by 3 years. That's a standard thing. By 3 to 4 years, your rent will cover your EMI. You have to be patient. Now that is for simple interest. If you do compound interest, you will get much more. We won't go into too much Vanyagiri. Be happy, increase by 10% every year, let your tenants also be happy. Okay? What will happen after 7 years? After 7 years, you will make 55k. You will make 55k, 35 is your EMI. Your inflation, if you increase from 10 to 15,000 for your maintenance, you will still have saving 5,000. 5,000 extra you are saving. Your initially, what you are investing is 30,000 in your SIP. After 7 years, you can start investing 5,000 more every year. So you are building up your 10% inflation in your SIP every year. Okay? So that's how it goes on. 3 years rent free, 7 years you are making profit. So I'm investing 30,000 in my SIP for 7 years with 10% increment every year. So from 40 lakhs now I have 50 lakhs with me. For my second project, my initial capital is 50 lakhs. Okay. Now I should buy a commercial property. First, always buy a rental house. Second, buy a commercial property. For commercial property, always form a limited liability company. Why? As an individual, you cannot get tax deductibility on the interest. As a company, full interest portion is tax deductible. All your expense in your renovation, maintenance cost, electricity cost, everything is tax deductible. Okay, so that's an advantage. Whatever loss you make in first 3 years, when you break even or start making profit, your losses will be covered for next 7 years. You will be not paying any tax on your limited liability company. Limited liability company becomes easy to sell. A company is easier to sell than buying in an individual name nowadays. And future. In future, on individual inheritance tax will come. Government is increasing indirect tax, but they will never ever put a tax on companies. Yes, you see, companies tax are reducing, individual tax are increasing. Okay, so that will never come. Remember this. 2023, Amish told you, inheritance tax will come by 2040, 2050. So now I have about 50 lakhs. I want to take another loan of 84. I want to take another loan of 1 CR. Now my EMI is 84,000. Okay. So I have a budget of 1.5. I'm buying a commercial property. Commercial property always buy near to the famous property. In central Bombay, Prabhadevi, Lower Parel, as I said, very big area, commercial property, very expensive. We bought a house for 20,000, commercial property, ground floor with a parking, 50,000. 50,000 per square feet. We had 50 lakhs. We took a loan of 1 crore, 1.5 CR. We are strong. We are getting it for 1.45 CR. Okay. Here you will not be commercial property. You don't negotiate too much. Make sure what you need. Location, location, location. With extras are there. Let him be happy. Take it. Otherwise, in 48 hours it will be gone. Okay, in good locations, commercial properties don't stay. So see it, it will give me a fetch me a EMI we have spoken. So we are going to take a commercial property with a parking. How much rent will give me? As it says, it will give a rent of 65,000. EMI is 85,000. My rent is 65,000. I have a gap of 20,000. But what am I going to do with my commercial property? 275 square feet carpet area. Okay. Bombay, 125 pharmacy. पान वाला की दुकान में जितना फार्मेसी मिला, फार्मेसी खुश. बाजू में अपना पॉलीक्लिनिक. डॉक्टर के बाजू में फार्मेसी है, फार्मेसी वाला सब लेंगे. We will have a queue of people saying, I'm going to start a polyclinic, take my pharmacy. As soon as you go to a pharmacy, other property, half rent you pay. 30,000 your rent. Give me partnership. Vanya Buddhi. Partnership, 25%, 20% partner, 25K minimum or sure. 55,000 मेरा EMI का निकल गया. When you buy a thing, I'm a new doctor. Okay, 5 years MBBS, 7 years of MD plus fellowship. Now I'm sitting. So at 12 days I'm sitting. I don't have patience to see whole day. 2 घंटे का slot. 3 to 5, 5 to 7 I'll take. Other slots I give to other doctors. No. Morning slots for people like GP or homeopathy or physiotherapy or dietitian. Okay, the housewives can and other people who are free in the morning can go. Afternoon, evening slots for physicians. Night slots, surgeon. Charge them more, squeeze them. They'll pay you more. Okay? 8, 9, 10, 11 बजे बॉम्बे में 10 से 12 का भी slot आता है. I don't say that, but 10 से 12 का भी slot. That's a peak slot. और finally I know one surgeon CPT है वो 2 बजे तक बैठता है. ठीक है? ऐसा मिल गया तो तेरे का jackpot. But that's what you do. Make the use of it. What I'm trying to say is optimize your output from what little you have. Suppose I have so many slots, I'm expecting 80K. Let's make sure the 1 or 2 slots go empty. I'll get 60K. So if I'm getting 60K from my polyclinic, I'm getting 30K from my this. Already I'm getting 90K from my return. My EMI is 85. 5,000 I'm spending. My own clinic, I'm going to spend 15,000. I have to pay my rent because it's a limited liability company. I have to pay it. So that will be my expense 15K plus pharmacy से मेरे को 35K आएगा. Okay. So usually about another 35,000 will be the expense for the light, electricity, secretaries, computer, this license, that license, you all know. Then about 35,000 will happen. So our expenses about 15k plus 35k. That 35k will get compensated from the pharmacy. 25,000 plus 10,000 they will give you. With the pharmacy, once he is settled, don't bargain too much. तू कमा मैं भी कमाएगा. Okay, don't be one year you know कितना बुक्स हुआ कितना वो अपना धंधा नहीं उसका धंधा है. लेकिन make you are getting your 25,000 10-15,000 दे रहा है महीने का निकलो. Okay, build a good relationship over here, and then you can see after 3 years, as we spoke about the housing project, after 3 years you will start making profit. Okay, so after 3 years you will start making 50% profit of SIP and 50% of your profit will go into your expenses. Commercial property 3 to 5 years, make it chakachak. Okay, doctors will be happy, patients will be happy. You should repaint, reorganize everything. So keep 50% in a bond, 50% of your profits are putting a separate SIP for your future. What you are doing 30k is plus this 50%. So now you are making an SIP of 80,000. 30,000 yours plus 50% of 50,000 after 3 years. You are making about 30,000 plus, you are making an SIP of 60,000. So now we are 12 years down, we have started a new project with an SIP of 60,000. Okay, after 7 years, so 5 plus 7, 12, 12 plus 7, 19. 19 years of practice, you have 1 CR ready from your investment. You have 1 CR ready for your investment. Okay. Okay, so now you have 1 CR ready of your investment, and at the same time, you will get a loan of another 3 CR. This is where you think of remortgaging your commercial property. Okay, your commercial property is now 7 years down the line. Okay, you remortgage. Why do you remortgage? Because limited liability company, you are making profit, you are paying tax. Okay, so if you remortgage, what will happen? Your property, if it's appreciated by 12%, you will get 1.5 CR extra in your remortgage. Or if you take a CAGR of 10%, you will get 1 CR extra. We have put 50 lakhs. After 7 years, 1 lakh, 1 crore वापस आ रहा है. So you have already doubled your money after 7 years. Don't try to remove the full amount. Keep your 50 lakhs. Remove 50 lakhs what you invest there. Okay, so that 50 lakhs you can invest. You have invested in your company income, debt free. Okay, it is paid back its capital. You got your money back after 7 years. So now you have 1.5 CR to invest. 50 lakhs the company has. Now you form another company. Now it gets a little bit complicated. Form a second limited liability company where the first company gives a loan to the second company of 50 lakhs. You have 1.5 CR, the second company gave you a loan of 50 lakhs. That company, now your 1.5 CR plus that company's, in your next company you have a working income of 2 CR. Now it gets fun time. Okay, so now you have a total investment of 2 CR. Now you take a loan of 4 CR. So by then, usually the interest rate will come down to less than 5%. You will get more money. You have availability of 6 CR. And remember, now we are talking about 19 years down the line. Your housing property will also must have appreciated a lot. You must be making profit over there also. Okay, so now your passive income has already started 15 years after you made your first investment. So after 12 years, you have 1 commercial property, 1 housing property. You want to buy a big flat. Okay, 6 CR, my 3.2 lakhs is my EMI. 4 CR का लिया, 6 crore का मैं घर लूँगा. I would not say buy a house for 6 CR when you're 12 years down. Buy another commercial property, buy a nursing home. For me, more lucrative, buy a big commercial property, make a pharmacy, make a pathology, and make a very posh building. You'll make a lot of money. And this way, the cycle continues. every 7 years, you will buy a new real estate which will start making money for you by 3 years, make double the money by 7 years. And this cycle continues. So when you are 60 years old, you started at 25 years, you will have approximately 5 to 7 real estate property which is making money for you. Okay, if by chance your 1 or 2 property goes waste or you want cash for some other reason, you still have 4 properties, 4 or 5 properties. None of us have that much. And that's what happens. Okay, so it becomes very easy. When you hold a property for more than 10 to 15 years, the capital, when you want to sell it, the capital gain becomes very negligible. Okay, the capital gain which is calculated based on depreciation, based on the renovation, and everything becomes very negligible. And people say when you are 60, 65, sell your property and put it in debt or equity. I say don't do that stupidity. Your property, your 5 properties, reverse mortgage it. Okay, reverse mortgage it, the bank will pay you money every month for you to for you to go for a world trip. Retire at 60, go for 2 years of world trip, paid by your real estate. Just a thought process. Passive income is a reverse mortgaging is a further talk. We can talk about it next time. So in conclusion, diversify. Real estate, location. All greed should earn more than inflation. All greed can't have same returns. You can't have same returns in the same case. Your mutual funds, you have 5 funds, they will give you same return. Equity, you would have same return. Same thing with your real estate. At 60, make sure you have enough passive income. Then after 60, you work for fun. You're not working, you're working because you're enjoying what you do. And self-learning. It's your hard-earned money. Nobody can teach you better than yourself. Neither can I. Whoever is talking today is based on our experience. We are not a master of everything, but we have learned ourselves. You all are lucky that you have so many people talking, while in 80s we had nothing. So, self-learning, but still learn yourself. Like doctors, medicine में Harrison और Nelson और नहीं पढ़ा होगा, MBBS अभी real estate में please read some of the Bhagavad Gitas of the investment. Please, there are lots of good books to read. So this is real estate made simple. Before I take any questions, just a small pause. Double C. C is for cut for cancer. I've learned something new. We lost one of our batchmates first time for its CA breast. In her memory, all the batches from my GJ place, we are growing our hair to donate for hair donation. So 20 of us and plus 5 of my family members are growing hair more than 6 inch by December to make wigs for small children with cancer and ladies with CA breast. Okay, just that. Any questions?
Thank you, sir. Any question from audience? Any question?
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Yeah, my question is that you are talking about the Mumbai, where majority of the amount you have to pay in white money, I mean, more than 90-95%. Am I right, sir?
No, you are mistaken. You're not so good. You look good, but we are white collar thieves. We don't pay so much.
Okay. So you mean to say in Maharashtra and Gujarat the same scenario?
No, not as bad as Gujarat. But in 80s and 90s we were like you all. We have improved now. Anywhere between 30 to 40% black still goes on.
Okay, so here the scenario is that we have to pay 50 to 60% in black and 30 to 40% I can say in white. So what will be your choice, whether we have to go for white money more while purchasing the commercial property in case of, for example, buying the paying property in auction or something like that, or it would be better to get more money in case of purchasing the property from the builder where we have to pay white money less?
Excellent question. Brownie points. What should we do is based on what you see in the future. Okay, in the future, white money is going to be more, cash is going to be less. So you have to look at 10 to 12 years. Look at Bombay. Okay, we were paying about 50% black about 20 years back. Now we are paying about 10 to 20%. Same thing will happen. So the earlier you take more white and pay more white and take more loan, the better for you. That's my advice, but that's up to you.
And one last question. When we deal with the rentee, whether we have to ask him for white money more in case of to get the rent for future later, I mean just for security in future?
First class. I was hoping some people would ask or I would have covered this. 100%. Now again the same thing. Okay, over here it's vice versa. It depends on what you are renting. Is it your commercial property or is it your household, which is your personal property? Personal property, cash, jala. Commercial property for a company, white jala. Basic rule. Cash jala, you will be making profit after 3 to 5 years. Personal property don't turn over fast. Okay? Company property you can turn over fast. You don't like it, sell it. Go fast. While your personal property don't try to turn over before 10 years. Because housing property takes a little bit longer for you to make money compared to commercial property.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, a question from my side, sir. Nowadays, as we are seeing that so many yojanas are coming from the government, PMJ Yojana and all. So the margin for a doctor to earn from his own private practice is going down. So, like in Surat, there might be some centers in Bombay also. People come together, 3-4 consultants would come together, they'll start a hospital. So what would be your advice? To buy a property and start a setup or to rent out? Which is more viable?
Very good. So, as I said, don't get away from your basics. Okay, as we say in medicine, ABC. Basics of any property deal. खुद का है पर्सनल करो, any partnership go into limited liability company. From a limited liability company, so you and your partner both are proper professional, both are 50% shareholders. Okay, even the liability, something one of your partner goes bankrupt, the second liability does not fall on fully on you because it's a limited liability company, the bank cannot do anything to you. Okay, now when both are partners, again you are forming a company, going as a commercial venture. Okay, don't buy fully. Buy bigger property. If you have 2 CR, buy property of 4 CR. Aim bigger. Okay, you will make money in 3 years. Or if you are buying one property, buy 2 properties. No? मेरे पास 4 CR है, 2 CR मेरे लिए, 2 CR from the commercial venture for the same company. Okay, so then explore that. As I said, always leverage because your returns are about 12%. Your interest is 7.5%, which will by 24-25 will come down to 5%. So you are getting a margin of 7% just playing the market between your yield and your interest. Even 5% difference you're getting. So you just have to make 7 or 8% from your rental property because your margin itself gives you 5%. So that compounding factors comes when you go for 15-20 years, that 5% becomes a big figure. And when you can leverage your real estate, always leverage.
Sir, question from my side. For investment purpose, what do you suggest? Newly launched, recently launched property, or maybe a ready to move on?
Wow. So yes, I'm from Bombay. Properties building started in when I was 30 years old, still not ready. Okay. When you want to buy your hard-earned, what you see. Do you believe in child marriage? No. Okay, would you marry your boy to a child girl? No. What you see, you buy. What you see, you marry. So you should buy what you see. Unless you become good. Now at my stage when I have good, and even if I lose money, I can withstand it, that's my power. Then I can take risk factor. Lot of equity people will buy and sell fast trading karenge, F&O karenge, wo karenge, they are good at all that. 90% lose money. Same thing in newer project, 90% people will not make enough. So for us in the beginning, for your first 1 or 2 or 3 property, I would advise be sure what you are getting. Pay a little bit higher. Once you are confident and you find a multi-bagger, then it's your luck. But that's a risk you are taking, no? That Olympic size or Surat mein the Surat gold boost is coming. 5 years, 7 years back, people knew. Big people have already bought. People like us did not buy. That did happen in BKC, okay? 2004, BKC was coming in 1970, BKC was coming. I didn't invest. Asian Heart started in 2000, I didn't invest. 2005, BKC started, the diamond boost came, I invested then. 5 years record मेरे पास आया कि वो जगह का भाव बढ़ रहा है, then I'm more safety कि वो will keep on going up. Better to make little bit less profit, but make sure you're making profit, because that margin from 70 to 2000, can you sustain it? While the difference of age from 2000 to 2005 to 2020 is very less. So you don't know in real estate what will happen. It's like buying an equity in black market. Okay, you do that, you don't do that. Because you don't know what will happen when an IPO comes, IPO kitna hoga, usme kya lagega, you don't know. So I would not advise people to take risk. Once you are professional, if you're good, 20 years later you come and advise me how you make money from buying in the beginning. But at present, I have not done in my life.
So what are your rental yields in Mumbai? We have only 3%, around 3%, 4%. Rental yields.
See, rental yields is like a dividend. 2%, 2.5% बहुत हो गया. You are very happy that you are getting 3%. हम लोग को तो 1%, 1.5% मिलता है, हम लोग तो खुश होते हैं. Okay, the idea is to don't be penny wise, pound foolish. Aiming for higher rental income, don't lose good customers. Pay customers, थोड़ा rent है, अच्छा है, लगता नहीं, no increment of 10% this year. You stay. 2 months your property goes in between one leaving and second coming. 2 महीने में तेरा 1-2% तो ऐसे ही आ जाएगा, 5-6% ऐसे ही टूटेगा. Plus you have to pay EMI. So always don't be penny wise, pound foolish. Don't go after dividend, as they will say. Go for companies with good valuation. Go with your client who have good valuation. If they are staying, keep them.
Sir, your explanation is very good, but many points I can't understand. I am confused with my own setup. I started my hospital where I am paying 2 lakhs as a rent. So shall I go to buy that property or I have to continue? Because that property price I think near about 4 to 5 CR and I am paying rent of about 2 lakhs. So initially I think why should I pay a bank interest rather than I am paying the rent to the owner?
You have to do your own mathematics. You have to do your own mathematics. Do what will happen after 10 years. Do you think that if you own the property, you're paying the rent, is not going to appreciate for the next 10 years? Don't buy. If you think that value in that area is not going to appreciate by 10%, don't buy. Well, as I said, whatever investment you make, it has to be inflation plus 3%. If you think that the property price is not going to appreciate by 10 years, don't buy. If you think the property price in that area is going to increase more than 10%, you'll buy.
Thank you, sir.